He flew in from New York to be with us, and boy, is he tired. Remember that joke? Oh, God. That's awful. Why do we resort to terrible things like that? Would you welcome Charles Grodin? You see, you let your hair grow to cover your rather large ears.
I worked on that a lot, actually. Should it go over? Should it go under? Should it go over? But, you know, your introduction...
Yes.
I feel like I'm out here to balance Victoria Principal, a gorgeous actress, a gorgeous actor. So I never came out with a burden of trying to come off gorgeous.
Well, I think you are.
So let me just make a little adjustment to it.
Certainly.
And why don't you put the ears back on and take care of the comedy? I'll work on that.
Is there something about yourself that you don't like? Now, I've been aware, when I was young, very young, the ears seemed to be, at that time, a little oversized, and I thought I'd grown into them, but obviously, according to Wimpy over here, they're still rather large. Now, you be honest.
Honest?
We're honest. You know me, but you don't really know me, so I would trust your
Is this
judgment.
a question about your ears?
My ears. Do you think my ears are oversized? I mean, they're out of proportion to the rest of my body.
How long do you think you'll still be hosting this show?
I really don't know.
I think you look great.
In case you have pictures coming up that need plugs, obviously.
No, you look great, John.
Uh-huh. Is there anything about your own appearance that you would change? This is a question you get in psychological profiles sometimes. If you could change anything about yourself.
I did change quite a lot about myself, actually. I used to be kind of a heavy-set character man. I really was.
When you say heavy set, how heavy?
Oh, maybe 20, 25 pounds heavier than this. But
really?
Then they started to cast me. I'm not going to touch you.
Oh. I do. You've heard about that. You've heard about it. I do flinch sometimes when people do that. Do you like to be touched? You hate when people come up you don't know?
I don't.
At a party? You can answer any of these questions or none of them. I'm just throwing them out. Till we get rolling here, we seem to be throwing a lot of stuff. But people come up to me at a party, and I automatically flinch, and I don't know why. Probably because of my ears. I think they're going to grab a hold of my ears. I've never thought of that before. That's probably it. But if you could change anything, well, you just told me what it would be. Am I rambling too much?
No, not for my taste.
See, I'm supposed to be in control of the show.
Oh,
the idea when you sit here, you should let the guest really talk, and I shouldn't ramble on.
No, it's. But what is the question?
You said you were.
Is there a question?
You said you were very fat. Didn't you?
25 pounds. That's not fat.
Well, you were very heavy.
I was heavier than I am now. I did change my appearance, and I do like to be touched.
You do? You don't mind that?
Yes.
Wow, what were they casting you as when you were heavier?
I was a character actor in New York before I became a gorgeous movie actor.
Movie actor, yeah.
But you had to look better, because if you would play opposite Sybil Shepherd or Candy Bergen or somebody like that, and they looked adoringly, and then they had to cut to the person that they were looking at.
Yeah.
You know, you had to make it, or try to make it make some sense.
Right.
And it wouldn't have if I didn't pare down.
To become the gorgeous
thing that I am
person you are today.
Right.
Do you go to the gyms and do all that?
Are you whispering?
What?
I can't hear you. I'm sitting right now. What did you say?
I don't know.
Did you
Sometimes I just throw a question out just as kind of a blind thing that I doesn't require an answer, and if you don't understand it, don't answer it.
No, I just didn't hear it. It wasn't a question of not.
Did you hear it?
I heard it.
Well, I haven't. Go ahead, try it again.
If you wouldn't grow your hair over your ears, you could hear it. Hey, we got a lot more stuff like this coming up, folks. I mean, you stay right there. That's a promise, and we'll be right back. We're talking to Charles Grodin. Victoria Principal is here, and Jeff Seinfeld is going to come out later. You've been on this show, I guess, around a dozen times, and
this show?
Yeah, something like that. You've never said anything that got us in trouble. But what was the show you were on? Were you? I don't know whether you were censored or.
Yeah, I was censored.
You got yourself in a bit of a.
I was censored. I hope I hope I'm not censored again here tonight to tell why I was censored.
Our standards may be different than that show.
Well,
because we have no standards.
Well, this will work then.
I mean, we do, but.
I got called by somebody who saw a promo for something I was supposed to do, and they said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Why?" He said, it says you're going to be on television talking with this doctor about impotence.
Mm-hmm.
I said, gee, I'm not going to be on, I'm not going to, what is, I wasn't even sure really what, this may sound naive, and I guess it is naive. I wasn't sure if impotence meant that you couldn't get a, or did it mean you could get, but you couldn't have, you know, I wasn't sure, anyway, that's what was censored.
I think your first...
That's right.
Yeah.
So I went on the show and
right.
asked that, and the doctor said, no, it means that you couldn't get a... Anyway, it'll be all right.
This is called fill in the blanks.
That was censored. This wasn't censored, what he said.
Uh-huh.
He said that there was a theory for people who were impotent and didn't know whether it was physical or psychological. And this is what you were supposed to do. And this is serious.
Mm-hmm.
As a test, every man or a man who is not impotent in the course of a night's sleep will have at least 3. And if you wanted to check whether this impotence was based on... Am I fired?
No, no.
All right. If you wanted to check whether this was based on physical or psychological reasons, what you do is you take a couple of... this is all medical stuff we're
yes.
doing. This is what the doctor said. You
right.
take a couple of, or however many you might need, postage stamps when you go to sleep. And in the morning, when you wake up, if those stamps are...
Canceled?
Then you will know that that your problem is not physical. Your problem is psychological. He didn't say if it was psychological. Then what you should do, maybe you could mail it.
I think I follow what you're saying. And if the stamps were...
If the stamps were broken, you were. It was a psychological problem.
I see.
That went out. That was okay. But the question on whether impotence, what impotence meant, was censored.
I don't understand that at all. That seems like a fairly normal...
I think it's because I'm not a doctor and he is that you couldn't say that.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll cut that out of our show. Will we, Fred? Fred, you want to put the stamps away and talk to me a second? You're not supposed to put them on this early in the evening if you just wait till you go to bed tonight. Would those be penny stamps, airmail? I suppose that's relative, too. Well, anyway, that's the only time you've ever been censored, huh?
Until tonight.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
It is?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't there, and I was surprised that it wasn't. I mean, they asked me to sit there next to the fella.
And that man was a doctor.
And the man was a doctor, and I thought it was an all right
Worked
question.
in a hospital place.
They didn't think so.
Should have known better. What else is on your mind? You'd like to talk about anything tonight? What are you doing currently that we should know about? Or maybe you don't want us to know? Any of those questions, Chuck? Am I talking soft again?
No. I was...
Anything you want to come on? Baseball? You a baseball fan?
Yes,
Hockey?
I am a baseball fan.
Good. Good job.
What am I doing?
Yeah. I mean, you have a... Usually when people come on here, they're plugging something. You know, just plug.
Well,
and you've been sitting here for nigh on to 10 minutes and haven't said, hey, I got a picture coming out, or I'm opening it somewhere.
I don't like to do that, really. I really don't. I like to do it years ago when I was in a picture with Albert Brooks, because I think he's so great.
Right.
And if I were in a picture with Albert Brooks, I'd happily come out and say...
What was that picture?
Real life. You know,
we could plug that.
much
It
of a
came out a
play.
few
It was
years
just,
ago.
You know, when it... Yeah, but it's not...
It's too bad you missed Real Life.
But it was
some years
great.
ago.
It was great. No, I'm not...
See, this way it keeps the rhythm of the show going, because if we don't have a plug, it breaks it. And people are not used to it. They'll say, gee, what happened to him tonight? He didn't plug anything.
I don't like to plug. Basically, I'm working on a different image. You know, when I came out here originally, which was about 10 years ago, I was a guy with a dark suit and a tie.
Yeah.
And I'm going for something else now.
I can tell.
Yeah.
You're much heavier then, too.
Yeah, I was heavier then, but I'm basically going for. What do you think?
We're kind of laid back, easy, with it.
People come on talk shows.
Yeah.
Very often. People don't say this on talk shows, but it's really true. People come on talk shows to establish an image for themselves, because you can't do it in the movies often because of the part, because of the role. You're
They
trapped
think
in
you
the
are
role.
what you are,
So
yeah.
they think you are what you are.
This is the real.
but you're not, well, no, this isn't the real either. You know, this is like working for an image. Burt Reynolds is a perfect example. Burt Reynolds comes out here.
Made his image, right.
He made his image as a funny person.
Right.
But basically, Burt Reynolds comes out around those curtains and looks up at the audience as though, what's that look on his face saying to you?
Here I am.
And I've just had...
Pussy Stamp City.
That's right. Then he... And he pretty much plays that, I think.
Yeah.
He plays that out here. He's funny and he's witty and he's real,
Right.
you know, very attractive guy. And basically when he's finished and he's leaving, he gives that audience a look like he's going now to go get
Yeah.
some more,
Yeah.
and that's it. So that's pretty much what I'm doing now.
Yeah, well, it's coming along. I sense it. I sense it. I'm excited just sitting here next to you. You touched me there. See, you said you went. I knew you would before the night was over. All right, we'll take a break here.